Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, as I sit here now on Tuesday, we're just a few days away from the general election, and I will post a vlog for you on Friday with my initial thoughts on the result. I think most of us feel it's probably a pretty good foregone conclusion, and of course that's why Bank of England are perhaps holding that base rate a little bit, because a Labour government is known to be a bit more inflationary, so maybe waiting to see, but certainly an expectation that rates will start to come down soon. We're all holding our breath for that. And interesting to see the latest Zoopla house price index that came out last week, which really shows that the market has been pretty much undented by the general election, that most buyers who were kind of already well on their way to their next house move have carried on. And the only buyers that have perhaps put things on hold have been those first-time buyers who are waiting to see what the general election will mean for them. It's pretty well known that, of course, the Conservatives have agreed to peg stamp duty at this the higher rate of the amount that you get free, $425,000 for a first-time buyer. They've agreed to hold that, make it a permanent thing, whereas Labour haven't pledged to look at that, and that therefore might be making first-time buyers decide they might want to wait. I don't know about this Zoopla. Look, if you look at this Zoopla chart here that I've got on the screen now, though, it will show you there's a 19% increase in the number of houses available on a year-on-year basis. Buyer demand slightly up. But so interesting that I wonder if that does show that buyers are just sitting on their hands a little bit at the moment, because if we've got more available stock, there's less going under offer. So I think that might be a sign that there is perhaps a little bit more of a holding of breath than we perhaps think there would be normally. Zoopla think there'll be about 1.1 million transactions this year, and they feel 75% of those are already sale agreed or completed. So big amount of the activity for the year already happened, and prices flat, as you can see. So 0% growth in prices, the big outcome from Zoopla, but it had been rising month on month until we hit May. So maybe that's not so much to be unexpected with the general election being called and everything just being a little bit more nervous. I don't think it's particularly indicative of the year. I think the year will probably end up about 3% up overall on prices, is my guess. Well, one thing there's been a big call for to look at is help for renters. And there's been some kind of increased publicity around the fact that none of the big political parties have actually looked at the allowances and help that people in the private rental sector get. So basically in April 2020, the amount that you could receive to help with your rental payments from universal credit, payment from the government, was capped and pegged. So basically meant that it came completely detached from market rents, which of course, as we know, anyone listening to my vlogs over the many years will know that market rents have risen massively, partly because of course rising mortgage costs and landlords coming under pressure from that, meaning they've had to put their rent up or sell the property. It's a simple two-way decision for them in terms of they're not going to cover their rent, they need to put it up or then get it sold. So it's estimated that only 5% of people who now receive a type of universal credit, local housing allowance it's called, it's within universal credit, which helps towards their private rental costs. Only 5% actually have those rental costs covered, and the rest is completely detached. Doesn't help to the same extent that it needs to. And enormous calls on whichever government makes it in to actually say, can we please have a look at this and improve this for the private rental sector? So who knows if that will happen? We will wait and see. Well, enough about forecasting and thinking what's going to happen. The next time I talk to you will be about what has happened and what I see as the impact on the housing market for that. So I'll bring you another special vlog on Friday. But in the meantime, how about some properties that we have just launched to market? There's this lovely one that we've got here in Crowborough. It's on at a guide of £850,000. It's fabulous value for money, this one. It's actually got a self-contained annex within it, a really strong annex, 2-bedroom, sitting room, kitchen, private entrance, really works well, bathroom as well. But you could easily incorporate that into the main house if you wanted to make a very spacious house. It's got good bedrooms upstairs and indeed excellent space downstairs. Beautiful beautiful views over the Ashdown Forest, Longview. So lovely, lovely location, great part of Crowborough, that one. And how about this other fabulous one on Shandon Close, which is just to the north of Tunbridge Wells, walking distance certainly to the mainline station and all the shops, on a guide of 1.275, and really spacious light field accommodation, very typical of that 1970s period, beautifully presented, nice plot, really lovely house, that one, great family house. If either is of interest, do give us a call. Well, have a great week, let's see what happens, and I'll see you at the end of the week. Bye bye.